Hi friends, it's Timmy here, and in today's video, I will be sharing with you 3 tips that helped me got back into reading, where I went from reading 0 books in 2023 to now I'm trying to achieve the goal of reading 1 book every single week. So let's get started. My very first tip is that you should read whatever you want. It does not have to be educational. I think for a really long time, whenever I was trying to get into reading, I had the habit of I need to read something that's inspirational. I need to read something that's about self-help or I'm improving some sort of aspects in my life. And honestly, that was how I hit the bottleneck of I don't enjoy reading, because I pick up certain books, like the example I will give is Sapiens. It was a really popular book among my friends, so I decided to give it a try. And I don't know why I just couldn't do it. I just wasn't interested in reading the content in the book. And totally be clear out there that there's nothing wrong with a book. It's just there's different life stages that you hit where a book resonates with you more than other books. So it's a very personal opinion, but that's just an example of the fact that you could not be enjoying a book while others are loving it. So I think reading is a very personal thing, and ultimately, in order to get back into reading, you have to find things that you actually enjoy reading, that you're I would rather read than watch YouTube or watch Netflix. So that's my very first tip, is find something that you actually enjoy reading instead of focusing on the kind of outcomes that's gonna come after you read the book. Now, on to my second tip, is to establish a routine of it. Make time for it. For me, it's right before bed. I now dedicate 30 minutes of my time where I say, before bed, I'm gonna pick up my book, read it for 30 minutes, and then turn off the lights and go to sleep. And of course, it does not have to be yours, but it's very important to set a time in your day to say, I'm gonna dedicate that time slot to reading. It could be your commute to work. It could be where you wake up in the morning and as you're getting ready listening to an audiobook. The important part here is that you dedicate a specific time to reading and you stick to it and consistently showing up and read during that time until it becomes a habit. That's how it worked for me. And now I can assure you, if I tell my old self that I read before going to sleep, she would be in completely shock. But trust me, it works, and I'm sure it would work for you as well. Now, before my final tip, if you made this far into my video, I hope that you found my content somewhat helpful or interesting, and I would really appreciate if you can like and subscribe to my channel. And now on to the last tip, which is to make reading a priority for yourself. Everyone has a finite amount of energy. You only got 24 hours in a day. So you can't do everything. So since you've clicked on this video, I hope that you want to get back into reading. So make reading a priority for you. Put that in front of scrolling through TikTok or being on Instagram or watching YouTube. Make that a mental note that reading is important for you and you want to get back into it, and mentally acknowledge it. And I know it's definitely hard at the beginning. And one thing I did do that helped me to get back into reading is that I've set time limits on all my other apps that I probably constantly use, so that I force myself to not click on those apps. And honestly, it helped me to get back into reading. All right. With all of that, if you're struggling to find something that you want to read, or you want to find something that's interesting to read, here are 3 of my favorite books that might interest you. My first recommendation is called Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. It's a book where the author discusses a lot of different life topics with his professor and understand his professor's take on them. There are topics around friendship, marriage, love, relationships, all of that. And spoiler alert, I did cry towards the end of it. I was bawling, but it still remains my all-time favorite. So if that's something you're interested, I say go ahead and enjoy. And then the second book is called The Answer is No by one of my favorite author, Fredrik Backman. I've pretty much read everything he's ever written, and I'm gonna read all the new books that he's gonna publish. But this book is a short story, so it's very easy to read. It's around 100 pages. It's very lighthearted, but also heartwarming. So if that's something you're looking for, this is a great book. And lastly is the book called The Psychology of Money. The author uses a very simple way to explain those difficult concepts, the complexity of the finance world, and help you to understand how to manage your money, how to invest, and all of that. And honestly, I just think it's a really good book. The fact that finance is something I think everyone should have some sort of understanding of. So if this is something you're interested, a really good book about finance. Since you have made it to the end of the video, I have a small plug for you where I've been using this myself, but this is an app that I'm going to recommend to you called Libby, where you can read for free. How it works is that you can link your library card, which I got it for free. I just applied at my local library, so I guess it's city dependent. But as long as you have a library card, you can link it on this app to your local library and then just borrow books through your library on that app. Super easy to use, and now you don't have the excuse to say books are too expensive or that they take up a lot of space. I hope that this video somewhat inspired you to start reading, and today can be your first day of your reading journey. Also, I would love to hear about your updates, so feel free to leave a comment about your progress. I will definitely be reading them. And that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.